Welcome to Cliffhangers and Cocktails podcast with Amy Sissel, that's me, and my delightful co-host, Shéa McLeod.
That's me.
Guess who that is? Oh, it's her. We are USA Today bestselling authors of paranormal women's fiction, among other things. And this podcast is brought to you, as always, by the Caftan Coven.
Today we're going to be talking with author Heather G. Harris about her latest book. We'll also be talking about the usual witchy things and general shenanigans. Woo!
Yay!
And I have an affirmation for you.
Hooray! I was worried that we wouldn't have one today.
No,
I wasn't.
Would I ever let you down?
You
No,
would not.
I would not. Nope. So I'm just a real simple one today. I am worthy of all success.
Fuck yeah, we are. I mean,
Yeah.
oopsies. Fuck yeah, we are. We're trying so hard to be less sweary.
Yeah.
So I'll put a bleepy thing. It'll be great. Those of you who are listening to this or watching this know that I 100% didn't put a bleepy thing. Because I think, much like a PG-13 movie, we are allowed one.
Or maybe two. We try.
Somewhere between PG-13 movie and HBO. That's where we're at. But speaking of worthy of all success, so we record these a little bit ahead of time, and as of our recording date, which is early April, Ms. Shéa's Kickstarter that went live a week ago today is already funded at almost 300%, I think. Is that true?
I think it's pretty close. I think it's around 250, maybe?
Because she's awesome.
Yeah, 238%. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I exaggerated, but it will be much more. It will be that much and more by the time y'all get to listen to this.
This releases on the 21st of April, so it literally ends.
It's the day it ends, yeah.
Yeah, it ends actually on the 22nd, the morning of the 22nd, like 11 a.m. Pacific time, or 10.
So you guys have go now. Go
now.
You have this last chance. Do it. This is your last chance to get in. There's stretch goals are being unlocked. There's recipe cards, vintage style recipe cards. It's very cool.
Yes, I love a vintage recipe card, and Lady Rample, it just fits. So,
Shéa, what are we talking about today?
Well,
are we talking about, as I said before, planetal alignments?
Planetary alignments. Yes.
Words are hard, y'all.
Words really are hard. Right now when this comes out, we're going to be in a rare 5-planet alignment. And
so cool.
Yeah, very cool. And now let's be clear that astronomically, they're not technically lined up, but to our visual eye, they're lining up.
Boring.
Huh?
So that's boring.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be able to see the alignment if they were literally all lined up. That's just, they don't quite work that way. Don't ask me, it's science. But yes, so between this planetary alignment, April 18th to 23rd is the peak of this alignment. And so we've got 5 major planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are going to all align in this small, tight sector of the sky. Planetary alignments create a lot of energetic, a lot of energy, concentrated energy. So we're going to be literally smack dab in the middle. And where witchcraft is concerned, planetary alignments offer a boost of energy that is really useful for ritual work, particularly if you want to do any major workings. Some of I was looking through different articles and things, and some people don't waste this on X, and I'm but because it's such a small working, and I'm but if what you want to do is a small working, do whatever working you want. Just know that there's a lot of energy in this time. It's very concentrated. So if you want to do a big working, this is a good time to do it. If all you want to do is small ones, yeah.
I feel like at this point, probably everybody knows our motto, which
Yes.
is
You do
you
you,
do you,
boo.
boo.
We need to do that again in unison. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. You do
You
you.
do you, boo. Okay, but we're saying it at different speeds.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3. You
You
do
do you,
you. Boo.
boo.
Oh, we still didn't get it. We're gonna have to
We're
practice that.
awesome at this.
We're so
Don't
good.
worry, I'll fix it in post. I won't show everybody that we tried that 7 times and still didn't get it.
The energy is there for you to do with as you will, to work however you want. You can even completely ignore it. You do you. But
Boo.
boo. But if you want, to do a big working, this is a really good time because there's a lot of extra energy to work with.
I feel like April is an exciting time for the sky anyway, because at this point, again, beginning of April, as we're recording, Artemis is zipping around. So we've seen all of the Earth set and the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, the eclipse. There's eclipsing.
Yeah, there's eclipsing.
And
there's
the
a
pictures
shower.
are so cool.
There's a shower of meteors coming along. Not meteor. Yeah, meteor. There's a meteor shower, like the I don't know. I don't remember what it's
Records
called.
are being set. History's being made.
Yes.
We have the sky and the space.
We have a newly named moon crater, Carol.
We have two craters.
Well, 2 craters, but they named the one after his wife who just passed away, and I think that's so lovely and romantic. I saw this meme today about how I don't know if you ever saw the Jodie Foster movie where she what was it called?
Contact?
Yes. Where she basically travels, and then she says, it's so beautiful, they should have sent a poet. Our astronaut badass,
Christine Cook.
She's amazing. And
she is.
She is fucking fantastic. She is a badass.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Freaking fantastic. Anyway, she's a poet. She wrote a poem about watching Earth. It was just beautiful. And so this time they send a poet who also happens to be a badass astronaut.
And as I saw in an interview, also a space plumber.
A space plumber.
She's the one who fixed the toilet when it broke.
Of course she did, because guess who fixes the toilet at my house when it breaks?
Oh my god, you have an astronaut come fix your toilet?
Yes.
What?
Every time.
This is amazing news. I am so jealous.
Oh, yes, we're having a day. So, yes, April, this has been like a really awesome month. I don't know if every April is like this, but certainly this April has been.
At least for the sky and space.
Right. We won't talk about the other things that have been not at all great.
Oh, you know what else was great, though, for April?
Yeah.
Is my second favorite Aries, sorry, Sam, came to visit me. And I got to hang out with her on her Aries birthday.
I know, the third of our coven.
And we got tattoos.
And I need to get one as well, but you know how I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to these things. So.
Well, our tattoo artist is going to send me the tattoo thing, so that we can get you temporary tattoos and we can get stickers.
Yay! I love it.
And hey, if anybody else wants one, let me know. I will get you some temporary tattoos. Excellent. We'll put it on our merch site.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah.
With our stickers.
With our stickers, yes. Woohoo! Okay.
We suddenly have a merch site that Shéa didn't know about because I invented it right now. Tomorrow is my kid's 14th birthday. Tomorrow of recording, not of airing. So she's now been
That's your
14.
favorite Aries. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So much is happening in this month. This is wild.
Yes. And now the planets are aligning.
And we're going
Which sounds very mystical. The planets are aligning.
And we're going to sacrifice
not my 14-year-old.
Not your 14-year-old, but something under the full moon. I don't even know. Anyway.
Maybe my youngest cat. Just kidding, Peter and Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding.
No, we would never do that. We only sacrifice cocktails under a full moon.
We're talking about this planetary alignment situation.
We went way off course.
Ah, it was my fault. I'm sorry. I got excited about Artemis, and then I'm like, guess what other good things are happening in April?
Artemis.
And I changed to a new podcast topic, which is now we talk about
Artemis thing.
Whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
She liked the Artemis thing, but nothing else that I said.
Nothing else. Not a single thing. Sorry, Sam. So this particular alignment at this particular time, the manifestation it opens a manifestation window that specifically influences decisions, money flow, and long-term goals, which is a lot of what we've been talking about kind of in the last few pods, touching on a little bit.
Yeah.
So this one happens, we're moving into May, so just before May, which is a major transition phase. So we're talking like sudden clarity, unexpected opportunities, things moving fast, especially in career and money. This is like the best time to like do some of these manifestations for these in these specific areas. But again, you do you, boo. Do whatever you need to manifest right now. And of course, Aries signs are going to feel the strongest impact because, we're in their sign right now. Moving into, what comes after Aries? Taurus?
Taurus.
Yeah. So Aries.
So the end of it actually happens at the beginning then really of Taurus season. Right because Taurus season will start right when this alignment starts.
Yeah, so like Taurus season starts on
April 19th. Okay. Yeah. It starts on April 19th or 20th.
Or 20th. Yeah, I think it's it probably starts the 19th for you, the 20th for me, because of the way that date lines are. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, right in there.
Yeah, right in there. So this planetary alignment starts on the 18th and goes through the 23rd. So it starts at the very end of Aries and right into the very beginning of Taurus. Mm-hmm. So apparently Aries signs will feel this the strongest, and then Taurus will feel like as we move into that. So this is just a super powerful time. And of course I'm Aries ascendant, so I'm not sure how that's going to impact me, but that'll be interesting.
Ooh, I'm Taurus moon.
Ooh.
Ooh. Unfortunately, I've noticed that neither of our astrological planets are involved in this alignment. So not only are we missing out on Neptune, which is mine, we're also missing out on Uranus.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. But see,
I can't.
Well, I mean, Artemis did just fly to the moon, so there we go. But Saturn is involved, and Saturn is really strong in my star chart, like in my full chart.
Right. I just wanted...
But you just wanted to say Uranus.
What? That makes me sound immature.
Well...
I am younger than you, so I guess I have not reached your vaunted levels of maturity.
Hey, if the booty shorts fit.
Well, are there any spells or anything that we can do during this realignment? I don't know why they're realigning. They're just aligning.
They may have aligned before, so they're realigning. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I didn't look up that.
They probably have aligned before.
I'm sure they have.
This is probably not their first time.
No. So this is a great time for cord cutting rituals, because it's all that letting go of things that don't serve you and moving on. So cord cutting rituals, they're sort of they're great rituals to break free from outdated systems, patriarchy, fear-based behavior. Yeah, because nobody knows where we stand on that.
Well, I wanted to make sure that people weren't just tuning into this soundbite and being like, wow, Shay is really into supporting the patriarchy.
No, 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 no.
She's not.
No, quite the opposite. We are breaking free, breaking free. Fear-based behavior and karmic chapters that are closing. So, like anything in your, if you believe in past lives or anything in your ancestral line, so ancestral trauma, that sort of thing. Yeah. So basically, we're going to just use this to smash the patriarchy. I like it.
Absolutely. What I think is really exciting, as we've talked about for the last few episodes, where we've really talked about more of an astrological focus, because we talked about Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and now we're talking about this planetal alignment. I could make new words. I'm a writer. Is how much we've talked about the global shifts that are in potential for this year, with the year of the fire horse, and then just all of the things that are kind of aligning in addition to the planets this year that really do speak to a potential for huge change.
Absolutely. And this is a really good, I mean, this is where we start, like, you want to talk about things moving and shaking. I mean, things are already in such chaos. Using the energy of this particular alignment and pushing the chaos into away from a negative chaos to turn it, we can use that. There's a lot of energy in chaos. And sometimes you need to give it a little push.
Harness?
Yes, harness. That's a good word for it. Harness. Yes. So there's a couple of spells. There's a release spell and a cord cutting spell. Kind of personally, I think of it as a release spell is letting go of something, and a cord cutting spell is letting go of someone, or breaking so like a release spell. This is where you're letting go of, like, the karmic like your karmic whatever. Why am I having so many problems? Wait,
I have a list. Hold on. I'm just kidding. I don't have a list.
But here's where we're letting go of, like, generational trauma, generational poverty, generational fear, karmic trauma, karmic poverty, all of that stuff. We all kind of, like, participate in the patriarchy on some level.
It's nearly impossible not to.
It's nearly impossible not to. And you're either affected by it, you're contributing to it, even our language. Like, I'm trying to call Cook an astronaut rather than a female astronaut, and it's almost impossible. Like, the one astronaut that isn't like the others,
Wait, they're all not like the others. We could play that game with all of them.
Exactly. So
3 of them are white, 3 of them are American, 3 of them are men, 3 of them are currently married and not widows.
Yeah,
we can,
like,
and so looking to that language to see, like, how are we othering.
And they also talked to this. I was just reading this thing about these micro acts of feminism, is like to talk about women, like expert women, like an astronaut, by their surnames, not their first names, because when they talk about men, they always refer to them by their surnames because that gives them power and authority. But when they talk about women in the same field with the same power and authority, they refer to them by their first name, immediately lowering them to less than.
I like to call sports, like, oh, are you going to go watch the soccer game? Or, oh, you're talking about boys soccer? Ew. That's just me being an asshole. We have women's soccer and boys soccer, but the default is just soccer. I like basketball, but boys basketball is not as much fun.
Yeah,
That's
same.
just me being annoying,
Yeah. You know,
but for a cause.
yeah, hockey's great, but boys hockey, ew. I mean, literally, boys hockey, ew. I know what they did. We all do. Okay.
Okay.
Um. Oh,
Release,
right,
blah,
right.
blah, blah,
Moving.
blah,
We
blah,
have
blah.
the recent. Okay. Yeah.
Cord
So
cutting.
then we have the cord cutting spell, and the aim of a cord cutting ceremony is to sever emotional and energetic attachments that you have, specifically to toxic people in the spiritual realm. Um, and the person doesn't necessarily have to be a toxic person, but the attachment could be toxic. And I know some people consider any kind of cords between anyone need to be cut, because cords have to do with putting your expectations on someone else, or them putting expectations on you. I don't necessarily, I don't know if I buy into that necessarily, but I definitely know for sure there are people in life that certainly have a toxic attachment. By doing this spell, you can sever that attachment. You're not harming the person, you're not harming yourself. You're simply severing that cord that gives them ability to affect you with their toxicity. So you can do a physical cord cutting spell, which there's all kinds. One of the simplest is they tie a string that represents that person, like a little cord, and then they have a candle like right in the middle and allow the flame to just burn until it burns through the cord. Other people do it with scissors, or there's all kinds of different spells, but I prefer a simple visualization. It's kind of a Reiki thing, but if you sit in a quiet space and you visualize a cord connecting you to a person who's draining your energy, either because they're a negative person or simply because your interaction is negative. Maybe it's someone at work, maybe it's someone in your family or a friend. However, they're impacting you negatively. But just imagine a cord, usually going from your navel to theirs, and then imagine you're taking a pair of scissors and you're cutting that bond. And you can say, well, you do this if you want to say something out loud. I cut off this relationship and take back my energy. Or if you don't want to cut off the energy, just I cut off access to my energy and take it back. Because your energy should be yours, not being sucked off. God. I've watched Ghosts too many times. Even as it came out of my mouth, I went, oh no. It shouldn't be, your personal energy shouldn't be hoovered up by other people to feed. I don't know. There is no good way to say this. Siphoned?
I would suggest that your energy should not be taken from you without your permission.
Okay, thank you. This was going from bad to worse.
Or sucked off, whatever.
Because there are people in life actually that are energy vampires. I mean, they don't generally have fangs or, have to stay out of the sun. But they literally are energy vampires. They literally take your energy from you just by being around you.
If you're talking about taking back your energy, there's also power reclamation
Yes.
spells that you can do to build courage, strengthen personal authority, and help take
Mm-hmm.
leadership over your own life. And being able to become the main character in your own story again, I think is so important,
Yes.
because a
Yes.
lot of people, and I don't want to name names, but women
Uh.
in particular,
Yes. Uh-huh.
tend to do that, tend to take the
Mm-hmm.
back seat and put themselves after their partners, their children, their
Mm-hmm.
anyone they're caretaking for, elderly parents, and anyone at a job. Everything comes first, and then you almost become not quite an NPC, but
Almost.
a side
Like, yeah.
character in
Yeah.
your own story, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not cool. You don't need to have main character syndrome. You don't need to
Mm-hmm.
have that. You're not the main character in everybody's story, but you sure should be in your own. So this is
Absolutely.
a great time to take back some of that power, reclaim that power.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different crystals and herbs to use. And I know we've talked about bath magic before. Shay is a big
Mm-hmm.
fan.
Yeah.
Bath magic. There's ritual teas, amulets, and intentional burning rituals.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different things that can aid in that,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them is
Fool's gold.
pyrite, known as fool's gold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Pyrite is a stone of action, vitality, and willpower.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got,
We
Shaya?
got black sunstone, which enhances personal power, helps release negative energy, and improves self-confidence. I love this. Um, Additional benefits of the black sunstone includes its ability to help boost creativity and promote emotional healing. So,
So I have never heard of black sunstone. I don't have any idea what it looks like, and I don't know why. This is
ah,
upsetting to me. I
ah,
mean, I
it's
know why
really.
it's upsetting to me. I don't know why, period. This is upsetting to me, period. But you know I'm going to be doing a lot of research. And if anyone else
Yes.
doesn't know, please go look at our social media because I can guarantee you there is a
Yeah.
picture of black sunstone on the Insta.
Yes. It is a variety of feldspar. So it's kind of like a dark
Oh,
charcoal color with little flecks, and but it's a rare. It's fairly rare, and it's characterized by this sort of sparklingness caused by there's like hematite inside of
ooh.
inclusions in it, and it's
Do you know why
primarily
it's called that?
black sunstone. I do. This is
It's okay. I will put that also in the
yeah.
social media. We will learn so much together,
Yeah.
y'all. So
Yeah.
much.
It's also a really great stone for shadow work, but and
Oh.
to balance joy and grounding. So this is a really awesome stone with a lot of good things, and it's primarily found in India and Madagascar. So
Cool.
yeah,
Very
um,
nice.
another black stone.
Oh, I was gonna say onyx. I have an
Yes,
onyx necklace. It's
yes.
my triple goddess or triple moon. I don't have a moonstone. I have an onyx as the center
That
full moon, and
that is
it's
so
good
cool.
for stabilization,
Mm-hmm.
both physical and emotional, which is why I wear it because I
Mm-hmm.
need so much stability, y'all. And it can soothe nerves and dissipate anxiety and
Mm-hmm.
fear. Again, so necessary for me.
Mm-hmm.
I am like an anxious ball of unstable nerve, nerve. Who knows what I
Nerf.
am?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah. So there's and these are just a few. There were so many that I was like, yeah, this is going to take all day. So I just wanted to hit on three really good solid ones, and those are.
I might put a little list on our Instagram, on our social media when this comes out.
Oh,
I'll
that's a
put a
great
little
idea.
list of the stones that can be used for this with little
Mm-hmm.
pictures so that it's more than just what we talked about here and you can see what they look like. And
Yeah.
then it'll be a fun thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what if I
Yay.
go on a field trip and buy all of the magic rocks and then do a video of all the magic
Okay,
rocks?
I love that for you. Yes. And if anyone says anything, it's for science and the podcast.
For science and the pod!
Woo! We've also got quite a few different like foods, ingredients that would be great for teas or things like that. So we've got ginger, which is, it's a root, and it is used to add strength, speed, and vitality to personal projects or intentions. So you can make a little ginger tea with it. I love ginger tea, which is also really good for the stomach and the digestion. And
And if you want to have some ginger tea recipes, make sure you head back a few weeks, couple weeks, I don't know, 3 weeks, and check out our Witch's Liquor Cabinet episode on syrups.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
in that we do make a ginger bergamot syrup.
Yes, which is delicious and tea like. Yeah, and so You can like use it, make yourself a cup of tea while you do some sort of intention spell or whatnot, or focus on manifesting these projects. It's great for that. Basil helps to establish personal boundaries and encourages confidence. So make sure to get your margarita pizza with your basil on top. And then you've got thyme, which boosts confidence, courage, and a positive attitude. So add a little thyme to your tea or your soup or whatever. So, Amy, what are we drinking today?
I'm so glad you asked. Today, in honor of our guest, Heather, we are drinking one of her favorite potions, a strawberry daiquiri. And,
Yum!
ooh, look how pretty.
Ooh, so pretty.
Blah, blah, blah. The energy of the strawberry daiquiri is purification, love that comes from the strawberries, good luck, abundance, community building, matriarchal energy, which I know Shéa hasn't mentioned before, but we're fans of here.
Never mentioned the matriarchy ever.
So, as we're talking about the ingredients, a heaping cup of strawberries, frozen or fresh, 3 ounces of light rum, 2 ounces of lime juice, freshly squeezed, 2 tablespoons of agave or simple syrup, and then you can garnish with lime, strawberries, sprigs of mint, whatever. So if you're Shéa, what you do is you put all the ingredients in a heavy-duty blender and blend until smooth. Then use a rubber spatula to fully transfer into 1 or 2 glasses.
I mean, really, one. I mean, let's be real. This is...
And then garnish and serve. If you're me, you fill your glass with ice and you put in some lime juice and then some rum. And you're like, oh, I think I want more lime juice. And I don't know how much rum I put in, but it looks like this is going to be about right once I add my strawberry syrup. And then you've made strawberry syrup from your frozen strawberries because your market was out of fresh and your other ones went moldy. And then you just add some stuff in, and then it's really, really delicious, although perhaps there's a lot of rum. And you're really happy because it's the first time in a long time you made a drink with your heart, and it turned out perfect. And I don't blend mine because I am a purist. And I looked up the origins of the daiquiri, and they weren't blended, y'all.
They were not blenders. They were not. They did not have blenders back then. Yeah,
they didn't, and they were better for it.
I don't know about that. I actually like them both ways, but especially with using with the frozen strawberries and it was just easier to put it through my smoothie maker than it was anything else. So a boozy smoothie, yum. What's wrong?
I don't like icy smoothie drinks like that. I don't make a smoothie, but I don't want it to be cold on my teeth.
I roll in lots of different directions.
How many daiquiris have you had?
Only one.
Rolling down the stairs, rolling down the hall.
And I even went light booze on this since it's only like currently 1 p.m. my time. I
did not go light booze.
I kind of figured as much. Yes, because even when we both drink normal, yours is probably a little bit on the heavier side of the booze. But I was like,
not if I'm measuring.
Well, yes, that's true. It's only when you measure with your heart.
My heart wants more rum.
And that's
my heart is a pirate.
My
heart is why the rum is gone.
So we've talked a lot before about the energies in rum, lime, sugar, and even agave, which is all like protection and cleansing and attracting money and positivity. But I did a little more of a deep dive on strawberries because we are actually moving into strawberry season here in Oregon.
And we are here in Porto.
Yes. I just found a few little tidbits that I thought were interesting. So strawberries are strongly tied to goddesses such as Venus, Aphrodite, Freya. Often they're used in spells for love and romance. But the thing about strawberries, if you've ever grown strawberry plants, is the mother plant will send out shoots that can, and little baby plants that can be planted. That's how it sort of procreates. And so the mother plant literally is giving its energy to the offspring to sustain it if like until it gets planted, until it has the right kind of circumstances where it can flourish. So up until it can flourish, the mother plant is providing her own energy for the baby plants. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting because that ties into the strawberry energy. So if you need help for your creations to grow stronger, you can call on that energy in your spell work to help your creations, your projects to grow stronger and more abundant. So you can also call on this berry for perseverance and extra energy to succeed in any situation. Rooted in love, fertility, and abundance, frequently associated with Venus due to their heart-shaped red color, they're used in witchcraft to boost sensuality and foster emotional connections. They're also associated with joy, friendship, and the women's medicine, quote unquote, or as I like to call it, medicine of community building and creation. Total matriarchal energy, because the matriarchy is about community. Everything is about community. Everything's about creation. Everything's about working together and about living in joy. So, an emotional connection. So strawberries are even more the bomb than I thought they were.
And I think for strawberry magic, strawberry spells, anything that you're adding into strawberry, now as strawberries are starting to come into season where they grow in the northern hemisphere, through the strawberry full moon, which is in June, and I think it's the end of June this year. Mm-hmm. It has to be the end of June. I know when the full moons are in May. So yes, end of June for the strawberry full moon. I think this is a great time to kind of pull that strawberry energy into any kind of spells that you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And of course, cocktails are a primo example. Strawberry tea, mocktails, but any kind of, baking that you do in the kitchen, like, if you're baking a strawberry pie, put some intent into that pie. Making strawberry shortcake. I love to make strawberry shortcake. So put some in, use that good strawberry energy.
Strawberries everywhere. Yay.
Woo!
Well, should we go talk to Heather about strawberries and daiquiris and
other
her books
cool
and
stuff? Yeah.
This is going to be such a fun interview.
It is. She is amazing. I love her. I know I say that like literally about all our guests, and I swear
it would be really bad if you didn't say that, though. Like, we do love all our guests. We don't have people on we don't like.
No. Well, and the thing is, I never met Heather until we talked to her in this interview. But she is just such the most amazing, cool person. And I just love that all these people that we're getting for guests, usually at least one of us knows the person, but not necessarily both of us. And so it's super fun to meet someone new and to be like, oh my gosh, that person is super cool. And I hope our listeners feel the same way about our guests, because they are
I'm sure they do.
Super awesome people. And so you must love them as we love them. Let's go talk to Heather before
I go
completely off the rails.
I am so excited today to welcome to the pod Heather G. Harris.
Yay,
she
welcome.
is an Amazon top 100 best-selling author. Heather is a full-time fantasy writer, and she is also blessed to be a mom to 3 gorgeous kids and a willful Great Dane. Heather went to university in Liverpool, where she took up skydiving and met her husband. When she's not running around after her children, she's plotting her next book and daydreaming about vampires, dragon shifters, and strong heroines. She loves swoon-worthy romances and promises to always deliver a happily ever after.
I do.
And I am. I'm so excited to have you here.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, ladies. It's lovely to be here.
Heather, most important question I'm going to ever ask you. What is your favorite cocktail?
Well, I love many cocktails, it must be said. And pina colada is right up there on my list because coconut, fresh, it's so good. But my all-time favorite is a strawberry daiquiri. I love exactly. I love
like we knew.
Yes, it's almost like a little bird told us.
Yeah, I've only got gin and tonic, so I've actually failed on the mission.
Oh no.
That
Well,
is not a failure.
that is
Mm,
not gin and tonic
that's
is
it.
never a failure in
No,
my
but it's
humble
no
opinion.
strawberry daiquiri, is it? Let's
No,
be honest.
it's not. I mean, it's not. So tell us about your, your author journey, like when you began writing and publishing. You talked about writing, walking around Liverpool and like thinking of writing stories instead
Yeah,
of legal briefs.
yeah, yeah.
So tell us more about
Um,
that.
so I was a lawyer for a good chunk of years, and but basically, my mum was an author, and she was never published, but she was always writing, right?
Hmm.
So one of my earliest memories was like sitting on her lap and dictating a story to her while she typed it up on the computer for me.
Oh, how fun!
Um, it's cute, isn't it? So I
Yeah.
always grew up in a household where I knew that writing stories was possible. It
Hmm.
wasn't anything weird. Like mum had her office and she went there to write her stories. And so that
Hmm.
was always something that I grew up with. And in my teen years, I wrote loads of stories myself. And then it kind of fell away once I went to university and was starting to become a lawyer and time was more precious and all that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and then my mum had passed away, and I looked into how to self-publish some of her stories.
Oh.
And that taught me all about self-publishing suddenly. I kind of fell into 20 books to 50K, and I was learning all
Hmm.
the nuts and bolts of self-publishing. And I think as a way to connect with mum anyway, I started writing anyway.
Hmm.
And my husband had always known that I wrote stories, and so he was like, "Can I read this?" And I was like, "No." And for ages I said no, and I
Oh.
would never let him read any of it. And then one time I finally did let him read it, and this was Glimmer of the Other, my debut novel, and he read it and was like, "Heather, this is surprisingly good." Um, but that kind of made me think, okay, well, maybe I should like do something about it. And by then, I was hip deep in learning about self-publishing and being a lawyer. The kind of maths of getting a traditional contract and someone paying you kind of 10 to 15% versus going
Yeah.
KDP and getting 70% yourself.
Hmm.
I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. Um, Especially as I'd already, it was kind of obvious that trad picks their darlings, right?
Yes. Yeah, they
So
do.
I was like, if they don't pick you as their darling, that's just it. And so I was like, self-publishing is the way forward for me, 100%. So I
Hmm.
wrote 4 books in a series. I rapid released September, October, November, December. January, I gave birth to my son. I had a year's maternity leave to see what happened. And I'd said to my husband, if even if I take like a 10 grand pay cut as a lawyer, to be able to be like work from home, flexible, be able to pick the kids up. If they've got a sick day, it's not a problem, all those sorts of things. I was like, I think it makes sense for us to kind of do this as a family. And he was super supportive. And then just hit it out the park from the beginning. I'm one of those annoying
Nice.
unicorns.
I love that for you,
Um,
though.
Thank you. I love it for me too, but it's hard when you see so many genuinely amazing authors around you
Yeah.
not just hitting the ride at the right place. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so
Hmm.
many things that go into having a hit. And I had done all the right things. Do you know what I mean? I'd done a prequel story that I'd built my newsletter list on, that I'd done the pre-orders and the rapid release, and I'd written to market and all those things. But it still just came together in like a really
Yeah.
ah
There's
moment.
there's always
Yeah.
an element of luck that
Yeah.
people don't like to admit to, but
Yeah.
there absolutely
As soon as I learned that being a six-figure author was a thing, I was
hmm.
like, that's gonna be me,
That's me. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't ever for 1 second, even though I was saying to my husband, well, if I take a pay cut and da, 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 in my head, I was like, we're not gonna need to. This is gonna be amazing.
This is not a problem.
This is going to be fine. But I think like my mum imbued me with self-confidence in truckloads. So like once I learned that it was possible for authors to earn like 6 or 7 figures from their writing, I was like, okay, well that's my future sorted. Cool.
No problem.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yes, I love that your
Makes me
mom
happy to
did
hear
that.
like
Yeah.
people going into this and like being successful and having this confidence. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all supposed to be jealous of each other, but like
No.
I love a success story
I know.
for a fellow writer.
That's another difference between like indie and trad, right? Because indie authors, we all understand that we have whale readers who read 350, 450, 500, even 1,000 a book a year, right?
Uh-huh.
If I can write eight, then I've got a few friends' books that they should probably read as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
produce enough. So instead of reading a stranger's, I'm like,
Yeah.
read my friends' books. They're
Yeah.
really good too.
Totally. Yeah, because even
Um,
I only read at night in the evenings,
Same.
before bed, and I still read like 100 books a year. There's no way, even if I read both of your books, all your books that you put out, I would still need more books.
Exactly, 100%. Whereas I think trad is a different experience because each trad author are fighting for the space with the agent. They're fighting for the space with the trad house
Yeah.
and the contract because there's only so many contracts. So theirs is more of a kind of dog eat dog world because
Yeah.
they are really fighting for the one or two spaces, right? Whereas with indies, it's like, well, we all can succeed, you
Yeah.
know, and it makes perfect sense to me that that spirit of kind of companionship and friendship exists in the indie world, and
Yeah.
I love that so much for all of us
Yes.
because authoring could be so solitary, and the thing that saves me every day from feeling lonely is my author friends that I have, and you make friends like we were talking earlier briefly about interviewing people from like New Zealand and France and like that's one of the beauties, right? Because no matter what time zone you're in, someone is awake and able to chat to you.
Exactly.
It's been such a great
100%.
Yeah.
experience just knowing so many amazing authors.
It is. And like it's so nice as well when you've got like a plot problem or something or a blurb problem and you can just chuck it out there and be like, someone help me. My brain's not seeing what I'm doing wrong. And,
Yeah.
someone will pipe up and suggest, and you're like, oh yeah, and it's sometimes you're too close to the problem. So
Yeah.
having other writers that you can bounce things off of is like, it's amazing.
It
Absolutely.
is. It is. Well,
Yeah.
and
So,
you do a lot of co-author situations.
yes.
I know you have a series that you write solo, but you
Yes.
do have a lot of co-authors, and
Yeah.
that's not something I've done. I know Shay has done it as well. Tell me a little bit about how that journey works for you, because I know
Well,
that's not one of my prepared questions, but now I'm curious.
that's fine. So I have about four series, I think, by myself. And then I had a kind of cozier urban fantasy series with Hannah Lynn, which is how we first started writing together, before we did the Aria Ashbrook kind of mashup that came later. So we just decided that the world was a dark place and we wanted to write something cozy. So we put our heads together and we deliberately wrote something lower stakes and cozier and all those things. And I've kind of learned through that process. I don't really like writing cozy, and I much prefer writing high stakes and high octane. That's an important growth curve to know that about yourself. Um, but how we work generally, and how I did with my other co-author Jill, is we would have calls, conversations. We would plan the world, the characters, the tropes, and then my co-author goes away and does a first draft, start to finish, but normally relatively bare bones, like your own first draft. And then it gets bounced to me for the second draft. And I tend to add in, especially Jill's strength was the action, and like she was so good at getting your heart like in your throat because she just get that pulse pounding. Like she was so good at just terrifying the crap out of me, even when our own books. Um, but yeah, but she would always forget like the romance. I would always be like, and where's Connor? And she'd be like, yeah, I didn't even remember he was even in the scene. I'm like, you mentioned him once. So like romance and the humor was always my additions, although sometimes she would be wickedly funny too. But yeah, I would in my second draft, it was always kind of adding in those extra layers, and kind of same thing with Hannah, really just kind of overwriting. And for both Hannah and for Jill, I was kind of the big name author. So the books needed to sound more like my voice. So that's why I had the last draft, because you want the voice to be consistent from start to finish.
Right.
And I wanted the voice to be mine for my readership to kind of enjoy it. And there, like I said, there were things that I always do in my books, like strong female main characters, healthy relationships with the male protagonist, the fade to black romance, the mystery, the twists and turns that they normally come through, and the animal sidekicks as kind of part of my formula of what works for me for each series that I touch. But therefore, I kind of need all of those elements. And one of the toughest things is I obviously write in British English, being British, and my editor is British. And so for Jill and I, Jill was American, so she would be writing and like, and then Bunny put it in the trash, and I'd be like, she put it in the rubbish bin, and then she went and picked up the lead, Jill. She picked up a lead. So we always had lots of fun, like doing those sorts of things. Obviously, Jill sadly passed away in October last year. I've got two more of our joint books to do to kind of finish off our series, because we always said it was going to be a 9-book series, and we'd kind of plotted out, and we have plotted out the last couple of books. So I'm not completely lost without her. Like her guiding wisdom still is there. I've just started writing book 8 in that series just the last few days. So it's been tough, but also is nice to kind of she had, unfortunately, because she was really sick at the end with cancer, she hadn't managed to do the full draft for book 8 or anything at all for 9, but she'd written like maybe 20K. So it just took me a long time to kind of be ready to pick that up.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, like I said, for our processes that I normally overwrite, for ages, I was messaging her husband. I was like, I can't write over her words, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, you just gotta do it though. You gotta do it so it sounds like, you know, the rest of the books. So I was like,
yeah. Oh.
But yes, I am.
And that's
I'm
the
there.
Portlock Paranormal Detective series.
Yes, that's right.
Which I have read every book in that series, because it is such a delight, and that's very much the style of books that I like to read. And that's set in Alaska. And that's where Jill lived, correct? She was in Alaska.
Planned that I would go camping with her. And she was such a badass. She always was talking about chasing off bears, like getting followed by wolves. She was so badass. It's so funny. But yeah, that series was amazing. Like it far surpassed anything that I'd done, even solo. Like Glimmer of the Other is kind of my flagship series, and it's the rest of my series that I've done solo are all set in the same universe. So there's like loads of crossover and characters mixing and things like that. And Glimmer of the Other in particular did extraordinarily well. But Portlock blew it out of the water. Like we got top 60 on Amazon with that series. And that's one that just continues to just have like such a space in fans' hearts, which is lovely. But there's a wee bit of pressure now to make sure that I do it justice for the last couple books.
Yeah.
And I'm worried because Jill was the action one. Like sometimes even on my solo books, she would beta read for me. And she'd message me and be like, Heather, this action scene sucks. Do you want me to fix it for you? And I'd be like, yes, please. Yeah, please, can you fix it? And so she would like take my one paragraph of action and make it like 3 pages. And I'd be like, thank you.
Oh my God, I need somebody like that in my life.
Yeah, it was truly a gift. And yeah, it was so great. And obviously, I would repay the favor. Like I would be to read hers and I'd be like, you need to like be kind, and you need to remember you've got a love interest here. Like,
don't forget the dude in the corner.
Don't forget the love interest. Yeah.
What inspired you, like specifically, to write paranormal? Because I mean, I was looking at all your urban fantasy, going, "Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun." But you have the
fun, by the way.
Well, I
And
already
indoors.
downloaded one of them onto my Kindle, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But I think it might be the cozy one, even, because I do love a cozy. Yeah, no, I do love a cozy. I love both. So, That's the
It
thing.
depends what mood you're in for, I think. Cozy is
Yeah.
great when you just feel like you need a hug.
Yeah.
Um, but
And then
the
sometimes you
reason
just need somebody to chop the head off a vampire for
Right,
reasons. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes that's how you need to start. And it's funny you say that because chopping the head off a werewolf is how the Portlock series starts, pretty much. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, sometimes
Ooh.
you just need to start with a head being lopped off.
I love it.
So accurate.
A beheading
So
is a great way
it
to
is.
enter
Yeah.
anything.
Absolutely. So what sort of I mean, was it just the head chopping, the beheadings
Yeah,
that
just
brought you
that. No,
to
I just wanted to start murdering people. No, so I grew up reading fantasy, epic fantasy, your David Lee Eddings, your Mercedes Lackey, Anne McCaffrey. That was what I cut my teeth on. That was what I kind of grew up reading 100%. And so as I grew older, I discovered urban fantasy and I discovered it through Helen Harper, who's a wonderful lady. Once I found her stuff, I binged her whole backlist and I was like, this woman is amazing. And what I loved about her, unlike David Eddings, was every series sounded utterly different. Whereas with David Eddings, you had new series, but you could have just changed the names and it was the same story, really.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved them. Don't get me wrong. I reread them all, but it was the same thing happening. But with Helen Harper, every story is vastly different. Every protagonist has got their own quirks, and it really blew my mind. And I thought to myself, that is what I want to do when I want to write. I want to make sure that each protagonist is completely different and you're not just cookie cutting the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
And as a consequence, though, some of my characters are a bit Marmitey. So some people say, "Oh, I adore Jinx. I love Jinx. I can't bear Lucy." And some people are like, "Oh, I hate Amber," and I'm like, that's because people connect with different characters in different ways because they are all different. So I'm like, I will take it as a compliment that you despise Lucy or that you, can't stand Amber or whatever, because that shows that they're completely different. And I'm giving you different experiences when you read those different stories.
Yeah.
But I think for me, when I was reading the urban fantasy, the thing about it that I love is like, who wouldn't want magic to be real? Like just now, just give me magic right now. And I think that's what urban fantasy is. It's just magic at your fingertips in the real world, so we can all really like directly understand and relate to it. But it has that fantastical element. It has that escapism of just imagining, that unicorns are real and our dogs can talk. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Who
Literally no
doesn't want to
one.
snap their fingers and their house is clean?
I
Or
always say,
wherever.
like, when people say, what magic power would you have? I'm like, putting aside the inevitable healing one, right? Because morally,
Right.
everyone feels obliged to say that one. So just ignore that one. That one's not, we're not allowed to say that one. If it wasn't healing, it would be teleportation. I would just
Absolutely.
love to be like, oh, I'm gonna be in New Zealand. Off I go.
Yep. Here I go. So, what's the most unusual, wackadoodle research that you've done for your a book?
Well, I mean, with all of my co-authors, obviously Jill and Hannah, whenever we would like be planning things like, murders, we would always
As
have
you
to add
do.
on like we're writers, like, and I would always do like if we were doing a note, I would be like, we're just authors researching different ways to kill people. But and Jill would be like, do you think the body will have decomposed by this point? Do you think we'll have maggots? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, what do you think? What do you think will happen
Yeah.
to the lividity on the body? And so we're Googling. And so I feel like when you're doing crime-based books, which all of mine are, they've always got some element of a mystery, whether it's like kidnapping or murders or stolen objects or something. There's always an element of crime going through them. So a couple of things that I did. I've got two police officer friends whose brains I pick repeatedly. One of them is a lovely Australian fan of mine called Jason, and he was a policeman in Australia for like 10 years. So he has like sketched out maps of like police stations and talked me through like processing and all those sort of things.
Hmm.
And then my friend Steve, who's a local officer, met me for a brunch. I promised that I would just like buy him a cup of coffee or something while I picked his brains. And we like started at 9 and we went all the way through till nearly 2 when I was like asking questions because it's so fascinating,
It
to
is.
learn the ins and outs of like the procedure of what people do because you only really see police procedural stuff on TV. And obviously we're well aware that it's dramatized. And it's like, what's the reality of the boots on the ground? Like, give me
Right.
the real skinny. And so digging into those stories was
Hmm.
like the best and most interesting couple of hours of my life because I'm always like, and then what happened? It's just,
Tell me more.
yeah, it's just it's genuinely fascinating
Yeah,
stuff.
that's so
And
cool.
apart from that, the only other thing that I think would throw up lots of alarm bells is poisons.
Oh yeah.
Poisoning
I love
comes up quite a
poisoning.
lot, I think, because I've had a
Hmm.
few female antagonists who go around killing people. So then you're Googling all the different
Right.
poisons and then what happens to the body and what the symptoms
Right.
are and whether you can
And
save
how do you
someone from
get the
this.
poison
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
our modern
exactly.
urban fantasy
Yeah,
world? How do you
because
get the
in
poison?
olden times, getting arsenic was not hard. There was
No,
arsenic, like, literally lying on the ground
everywhere.
everywhere. You have to go and find laurel leaves or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
I can
foxgloves
tell you
and
where to mail order cyanide in the United States. Just kidding,
Great.
whoever's listening
Now we're all
in
on
that
a
place.
watch list somewhere. Actually, I've
We
probably
were
been on a watch
already
list for
on.
I
a
was just gonna
long
say
time.
we're already on.
What if my sentient house could provide me with natural poisons?
I
That'd be
mean,
so handy.
wow, that's a whole thing. Like a
That would be a
murderous
deadly
house.
house.
A murderous house. Like,
Oh, but
they
it
have
would
the
have to be
poison
dark.
gardens.
That's right. Yes, and they still have a poison garden in the UK somewhere. I think it's in
Like,
Edinburgh, maybe. There's like a full poison garden.
yeah, and I think does
I want to go visit
Q
it.
Gardens maybe has one. I
Yeah.
think a small one.
See, this is why it's
Like
fun
one
when
of the
authors hang
best
out.
things.
We're all like, I'm
Exactly.
like, oh, I'll use rhubarb. You're like, I have poison gardens. It's like scented house that can just
Sitting
offer. Yeah.
house. Woo!
That
Here's
is
some
both
poison.
the fun and the risk of spending so much time talking to authors
Uh
is
huh.
that you
I
get talking and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, I just started another book in my head.
Yeah.
And then
know.
you tell
Yeah.
your husband, hey, by the way, I've started another book in my head. And he's like,
Not
and which
another
one is
one.
this? How many series do you have going now? And I'm like, none of your business.
And this is why I
That's the
have
right
like
answer.
many series going on at once because yeah.
I am normally a one series at a time girl. I like to get my head down and write the one character and feel like I really know them all. And then swap series and swap headsets. And then I find it hard to go back to the other series. I have to reread the whole series to get back into the same vibe.
Ah.
So I really struggle to like chop and change with working with Hannah, especially for the
Mhm.
romantasy. They're like 200K, right? So
Yeah.
I can't just sit down and write them all the
Right.
time because I would have
Right.
no income because I would not be publishing any urban fantasy books. So I've had to work this last kind of 18 months at doing that, at just
Mhm.
writing one book in one series and picking up another one. But it's hard because I think I'm just quite obsessive. So with the romantasy books, I set in a mystical place called Rohelm. And like, I just want to live there full time. I'm like, stop dragging me back to the UK. Like, I just want to sit and I want to like, oh, so hard
I
when you're
don't blame
being
you.
made to adult and you're like, oh,
I
I just
know
want to
it's
play.
annoying. So, okay, if your series, oh, I don't even know what series. Pick a series. Any series. Well, let's say your romantasy that you've just published.
Yeah,
And let's say Amazon Prime picks it up because they like to do fantasy things nowadays, and
yeah.
let's say it picks it up for a series. Who would you want to play your main characters?
Oh gosh. I don't even know. I haven't even thought about it. Well, I've thought about it in the sense of manifesting that I'm going to have like a
Sure.
TV or a movie
Mm-hmm.
deal. obviously.
Obviously.
But I haven't really drilled down into who would be. I think the thing is that the characters are all a little bit on the young side. They're like 23, 24. So it would have to be kind of quite new emerging actors.
Yeah.
And that would be fun too, right? Because it would be fun to be part of a process of helping launch some new careers rather
Yeah.
than an
Like,
all-star cast who's already got it
right.
made. I've got a couple of relatives, they're actors, so I would
Ooh.
totally drag them into
Oh,
it.
yeah. I mean, what's a little nepotism among
If you
friends,
can't do
right?
nepotism, what is the
What's the
point?
point?
Some little cousins that could have a job, that'd be grand.
I love
I
it.
think that's perfectly appropriate.
Oh,
I
yeah,
100%.
think so.
sure.
So, in addition to your romantasy that you have, is one out now in that, and then the next three are coming out, or do you have two out?
This is how bad it is,
You
right?
don't know.
I've got the prequel is out.
The prequel's out.
The book one is out. Book two is out in July. So yeah, we're not too far.
The next Portlock comes out this year too in September.
Yes.
That
Yes.
sounds right.
So I did have moving the romancy around. I had to shift a couple of my HGH books around to fit it so that I wasn't releasing two books literally at the same time. So I had to push. I've got a paranormal kind of supernatural police procedural, the other detective series. So I pushed that one back. So that one's moved and that one's gone forward, and it's just it's all the jigsaw pieces of trying to get everything in. But yeah, Portlock is going to be out September. That's the one that I'm kind of working on just now. So I'm kind of being kind to myself because normally I can write a book in about 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm giving myself plenty of time with this one because of the emotional side quest. So I'm going to try and yeah, be kind to myself and give myself plenty of time to write it. Because that one does hit so hard. Like the series does so well, and then the emotional of having to write it without Jill. And I don't want to let her down or let the fans down or it not be its best self. So I do feel like I'm in a like I had a big crying jag yesterday, but apart from that, I now feel like I'm now in the place where I can I can knuckle down and do it. And I spoke to Jill's husband, and Chad was like, she's telling you to just like knuckle down and do it. And I was like, I know. So even he
Your
has
butt in
like
gear.
told me, yeah, I put the
That's so
button.
good that you have his support though too.
He's been lovely. And I've got a bunch of writing things, signings and author conferences and things like that. So I'm going to New Zealand at the end of this month. Amazon invited me to go to London Book Fair at the start of March, so I took them up on that, and I did a little talk at London Book Fair, which was exciting.
Nice.
Nice.
Love it.
And before that, one of my friends, A.L. Tippett, April, she was visiting from Australia, so I went and met her at Edinburgh because obviously I couldn't not see her when she's on the same landmass as me.
Yeah.
And then before that, I'd had a signing in Lille in France. So I'm very much in the kind of very, very busy globe trotting, but also writing lots of books and not much space in my schedule for said globe trotting. So when I'm in my writing phase, it's been a bit mad.
Globe-trotting writing. Globe-trotting writing.
Good thing is you can write on planes and trains.
It's
So like on the
true.
way to and from London, I was getting in my writing, I
Yeah.
wasn't, you're traveling and writing, so that's
Yeah.
good. As long as you're not the driver.
Yeah, that would be awkward. And like if you
The
dictate,
Yeah,
yeah,
dictate.
and just put an earbud in, and everybody will think you're just having a conversation on the phone.
But then
Yeah,
it
weird.
just doesn't, and then it just doesn't make sense by the time that I'm done. Like I quite often do voice memos to myself.
Yeah.
Like not just driving, but like around the house, or if an idea comes to me at like midnight or something, and I know if I go to sleep, that will be it. I will never remember it, no matter how much you think, because sometimes you're like, this is the best idea. It's so
I'll
good. I will
remember.
never forget.
I'll remember.
And the next morning, all you remember is that you had a really amazing idea. And that's it. That's all you can remember. So since then, since I've had a few of those, now I just voice note myself in the middle of the
That's a
night.
great
Like,
idea. Yeah. Because Stephen King says if you forget an idea, it wasn't good in the first place. But I disagree with you, Mr. King.
oh no,
You are
like
wrong, Mr. King.
all of them, the nighttime like gold, I call it like the midnight gold dust. The next morning when I listen back, like a solid 95%, I'm like, that's genius. I
Yes.
was gonna swear
Because your
that, but I
mind
can't.
is open and kind of expanded, I think. Like your consciousness, you're half asleep, your consciousness is expanded. All this stuff is like dumping into your brain. And if you don't grab it, then it's gone.
100%.
But that's when some of the most brilliant things, I mean, like literally, I dreamed one of my series, one of my best-selling series. I dreamed it. I don't
Yeah.
agree with Mr. King. Mr. King can do what he
No.
wants. He's rich and stuff, so.
Yeah, and maybe his ideas that he forgets are bad, but like the ones that I forget, I know that they were really good. Because the next morning I'm listening back, I'm like, oh, imagine if you forgot that, and I know I would have done. But maybe he hasn't got perimenopause brain, so maybe he doesn't forget as much stuff as us, you know?
Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
That's probably true.
That's probably
And
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so finally, where can people find out more about you? Where do we send them?
Well, I have my own website, www.heathergharris.com, or www.aria-ashbrook.com. But I guess really you just want to pop along to Amazon because I'm in Kindle Unlimited. That's where all of my books are. The paperbacks, hardbacks, and audio are all widely available at various other retailers. But if you're interested in reading kind of ebook or in Kindle Unlimited, then you need to head over to Amazon. On my website again, I've got a reading order of like the
Oh, cool.
best because of the series that I have that all interlink. It's not like straightforward, the best reading order. You know, there needs to be a graphic.
Have you put your books in libraries?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
that's right. Yeah.
So
So
ask,
obviously,
if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, ask your
yes.
local library.
You can now
Okay.
ask a library, 100%. You want to be able to be accessible. So like all of my audiobooks are available for free on YouTube because
That
audiobooks are
is
really,
so
really
cool.
expensive. Thank you.
They are.
And I just think the people sometimes that really need the escapism are the people that can't afford like 19.99 for an audiobook, right? Yeah, all of my books are on YouTube for free. You can just anyone can just listen to them anytime. If you need escapism, have some free stuff on me at any point.
Awesome. I love it.
I love that. And
Thank-
do you do the socials? Do you have a
So-
good reader group on Facebook or anything?
Yes, yeah, I do all the socials. I've got a Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok, and I have Facebook fan groups. That was so loud. And I have Discord now. I've started to have Discords,
Woo.
because everybody started boycotting Facebook. So I wanted to give someone else, you know, another place where we could gather and just talk. I have all the socials in all of the places, depending on what your social media preference is.
That's awesome.
Come and find me, no matter where you are.
We'll be sure to put those in the show notes so that you
Oh,
can
lovely,
find
thank you.
Heather.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us today and talking with us. This was a lot of fun.
Oh,
It
you're
really
welcome.
was.
All right, do you know
I've learned
what?
a lot
Put me in a
about
much better
poison.
mood. Thank you very much,
Yay.
ladies. It's been lovely.
That was amazing. I love talking with Heather. She's just such. I'm really excited about her projects coming up.
Well, and her, like, I read a lot of her books that she has both solo authored and the ones that she did with Jill. And they're so fun, y'all. I probably read most of her books at this point, honestly. So I was a fan, and then we got to interview her, and it's so exciting.
So fun.
But,
And
hey.
I love that she's like, she knows Liverpool and we had that connection. That's super fun. Anyway, let us talk about the next important thing that we like to do here on the pod.
Is it time to draw a card?
Yeah! Woohoo! So, Amy, tell me about the deck that you have prepared for us.
Well, as mentioned earlier in this episode, our third member of the coven, came to visit me. And one of the things she did was bring a bunch of my stuff that had been shipped here, but then shipped back, which was very exciting. And then she brought it here. And so that meant I have now been reunited with all of my tarot and oracle decks and magic rocks. So I'm very excited about that. So when I was getting ready to do this recording, I was looking through all of my stacks of decks. I'm like, which one is the most important? And Chris is like, just take one from the top. And I'm like, wow, I could. Or it's what actually I did. There's so many. I took one of the top ones. Yeah. But I have today for you Murder of Crows tarot.
Love it.
And it is, look at the side of the box. Can we see
Oh
that?
my gosh.
Focus.
Okay, that's
no
amazing.
Focus.
No focus. Well, there's a lady in goth. I'm going to say a lady in Victorian goth holding a crow on her hand.
Yes. And then the other side of the box is just as cool. And this is a crow in armor. Well, somebody with a crow person
like
in armor holding a sword.
Or something.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
I love it.
So I am ready to draw a card.
Okay.
And these cards are just, they're super. And I love them because I feel very connected to corvids of all kinds. But crows are my favorite. So I'm going to draw just a single card for us today.
Okay.
We have shuffled. We are cutting. And we are drawing. And what I have is the Three of Cups. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at it. And how come I can't focus? There we go. Focus.
Ooh, okay.
So it's three women kind of standing together. It looks very witchy, indeed.
Very witchy.
And they're all three holding up a cup and a toast, and each cup has a crow on it. Okay. And so I'm very excited about this. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a looky-loo. In the wild places of this world, you will find those that you connect with the most. You will teach them your songs, and you will learn theirs in return. They will allow you all of your needed fictions and accept the masks you have chosen to wear. They take your story as it is given and spin it forth to weave with their own. Sublime delights are exchanged without expectations other than a few moments of peace and revelry. The keywords are friendship, benevolence, and harvest. And the Three of Cups very, very much is a friendship card. It is a companionship card, collaboration, creativity. It is all of those things. People are coming together in that matriarchal collective that Shéa mentioned, that connection. It's bringing together that, and this is women, and typically on the tarot cards you will see women, but it can be any kind of feminine energy, which is not, that is not restricted to women. It is the energy of community, which is often associated with women.
Yes.
And it's very exciting to have that, especially as we just talked about the matriarchal energy of community and how that with this going with the strawberries and friendship and bringing together. And that's what this is. This is a celebration. This is joy. This is companionship. This is feeding your positive energy to other people and weaving those bonds, not the ones that need to be cut, weaving those ties together in a positive way.
Yes, absolutely. I love that so much. That's perfect. And this is how we change the world. Changing the world begins when communities, the whole world, civilization was created because of community building. So the only way I think we heal civilization is to get back to that community building. So links and recipes and all that in the show notes, right?
Absolutely. As per always.
Always.
That's where you'll be able to find
Heather's books.
The
recipes for the booze.
The tarot card information. And all the stuff about us, because that's also important.
That's also very important.
Please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, We love a comment.
We
If you
love a
need to reach
comment.
out for any reason, DM me on Instagram. I will be there for you, unless you're a creep, and then I will not be there for you. So only non-creeps may apply.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Make sure you check out our
that
shorts.
Oh yeah, we've got
because
some fun
I've started
shorts.
posting our drinks as I'm making the drinks that we make and then posting them with instructions up on YouTube.
Yeah.
As well as I have a Oracle deck reading that I did a couple weeks ago, and I think I'm going to try to do a few more of those, maybe a couple times a month, to get those up there. So we'll have lots of fun stuff on our shorts. If you only have 3 minutes or less to spend with us,
yes,
you need your fix,
or you really need a cocktail. Well, we will see you next time on the pod. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And you know, I don't know what I was going to say there. I was going to say something funny and clever, but it turns out I didn't have that in me. So, anyway, yeah, what Shéa said.
Cheers!
Bye, all.
Bye, all.